AP. We are North Georgia's only and I want to put something out there, because if you're new to the show, just, hopefully we're having new viewers every day, and you don't know me, your host. I like to have some fun. I like to cut up. It's not unusual to open the show with me singing a little song, making up a little parody, all the above, because I just enjoy coming here every day. Even on Mondays, folks, I enjoy coming here every day and being with you. But I want to open a little different, because I want to make sure, and I'm going to do this at 9 o'clock also, because if somebody tunes in at 9 that is not able to watch at 8, I take very serious the mental illness. I take that very serious, okay? I know we have problems in this country with mental illness. And the reason I'm going to start this way is just to let you know that no matter what I say or whatever comment I make, nothing am I doing or saying is making light in any way of what took place in Parkland, Florida. My heart is broken, along with yours and the rest of America, that 17 high school kids got off the bus. And I don't know about you, got off the bus that day expecting to enjoy school and go home that afternoon and make plans for that evening, or do their homework, or whatever sporting activity they're involved in, the band, the drama club, the shows of whatever you're involved in. But the day changed, and it immediately changed because of a 19-year-old mentally ill young man entered their school and killed 17 kids. And I'm not for sure if it's 17 plus the football coach, but wounded others, wounded many others. So nothing about mental illness, nothing about the danger of a gun. The danger of a gun, yes, guns. A person can pull the trigger on a gun, a person. They don't go off by, they don't just shoot themselves. A person can pull the trigger on a gun. They're very dangerous, they're very lethal, and they need to be handled properly. So I just wanted to make sure that I came this morning and said, because for the next 2 hours, I am going to say some things that you may not take well. You may feel I am being insensitive. But see, I'm not the one who rushed to politicize this. I'm not the one who rushed to lay blame and find the face. You see, the left puts a face of blame on everything immediately, politically, as fast as they can. See, we are not the ones here. But the left, the fake news media, the liberal media, the deep state, which I believe is true, some laugh at me, but the deep state has forced people like myself to come here today and make sure we come back at what was laid out this weekend to the American people, We put a face on things immediately to make the evil one exist. Now, right now, the NRA, they have wanted your guns, America. They do not want you to have a gun. This is where I start to, I love the children. Wait a minute, before I even go further, how many of you stop and think about high school? I was joking with somebody this morning and saying, okay, get out of bed. Like, you have to go to school today. You got to go to school. Get out of bed. You got to go to school. That's the way I feel some days when I'm thinking to myself, oh, I don't want to go to school today. But what are you thinking about when you went to high school and you got off the school bus and you went inside and it just never dawned on you that somebody was going to shoot your school up that day? So this morning, obviously the NRA is the face of the villain that they have painted, and they want your guns. The media, any politician, Democrat, that comes to the podium and says to you, I support the Second Amendment. I support the Second Amendment. Okay? Anyone that says, they're lying to you. They do not. I mean, I keep my Constitution right here, and, I always read the Second Amendment and I'm going to tell you something for those that have time, and I'm telling you, it's like a college course. It's for me, it's a tough read, okay? You take the Constitution, the Second Amendment, and you go over here, and let me just say this. This is my recommendation this morning, okay? Stick with me. I got a lot going on here. But Antonin Scalia, the great Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, there's the book here called Scalia's Court. And in Scalia's Court, this book, okay, there are gun rights, page 131, okay, gun rights. I'm telling you, if you want to understand, to me, the constitutional meaning, okay, of the Second Amendment, you get Scalia's Court, Anthony Scalia's Court, and you read Chapter 6, Gun Rights, 131. It's a tough read, I have to tell you. It's like a college course. You read that. They do not want you to have a gun in America. They want to take your guns. They want to disarm you. Now, you may not like that, so we're going to move on. How safe? I've asked some questions before we really get into detail with this. I went on Facebook, and you could find us. Let's talk about that, Amanda. By the way, I'm sorry, Amanda. Good morning. How are you today? Good?
Good.
Okay. I went on, you can find us on, let's tell everybody, if you want to answer any of the questions, if you want to get involved in the conversation, okay, if you want to get involved in the conversation, 706-889-9700 is our live line there, 706-889-9700. You can send us a text message. Tell me if you disagree with me on the discussion this morning. You can send me a message at chief@fetchernews.com, chief@fetchernews.com. Follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. And also our YouTube channel, FYNTV, Fetcher News YouTube channel. If you'll subscribe there, anytime we have we broadcast something live or upload a video, you'll get a notification. Also, find us on Facebook, okay? Find us on all of our Facebook, Fetcher News, FYNTV. Now, I've asked some questions this morning that we're going to answer and get into. How safe are our schools in Georgia? Now, we're broadcasting from Georgia, so if you're in Texas this morning, Illinois, California, New York, New Jersey, wherever you may be, okay, the question applies to you. But how safe are our kids' schools in Georgia? Does your kids' school, now they're out for President's Day, right, winter holiday, does your kids' school have a school resource officer? You'll hear all the time, SRO, that's a school resource officer. If there is, are they full-time 5 days a week? And are they armed? Now, we did ask some questions yesterday. I called a couple I called, spoke to one sheriff, spoke to one superintendent of schools yesterday, spoke to a Georgia State politician, one of our representatives here in North Georgia. I asked some questions. We're going to go over that. If you have a child this morning and your school does not have any, if your child is attending a school today, it does not have any kind of security measures that you feel are adequate. Maybe you don't have an armed SRO on site full time. Your school, yes, we're not going to get into the gun-free zone. We know that doesn't work, okay, whatever. But inside the school, are there people that can defend your children in the school with a weapon, not their body? One of the saddest throughout the weekend is to hear, and heroes they are. They're just that. They are heroes. But there's a time there's no need for the hero. Why was there a need for the hero? Because they didn't have armed personnel on the site? So people using their bodies to take bullets. Is your school armed properly? Do you feel safe sending your kids to school this morning? I asked the other question. Did you see the 4 kids on all of the morning shows? Now, I do not enjoy them. You have to understand, I do not enjoy them. I do look forward to the day, not retiring, because I won't retire, but look forward to the day where I don't get up and watch all the leftist propaganda to see which way I call the enemy, the deep state, is going. And all 4, I mean, really, America, this is not news. All 4 from Chris Wallace. I watched Fox News Sunday, Chuck Todd, Meet the Press. I watched Face the Nation, and Martha Raddatz, ABC, This Week on ABC. I watched all 4, and then some clips on CNN. But they had these kids, okay? David Hogue, Alex Wind, Emma Gonzalez, and Carmen Kasky. They had these kids, and within just a matter of 2 days, there's a full organization, March for Our Lives. So if you watch Fox News, these 5 kids sit there. They had their earpieces in. They were mic'd up. Then they moved them over to NBC. Then they moved them over to CBS. And then they moved them over to CNN. And the list goes on. These 5 kids. Put the picture of those 5 kids up. I forget what I have them named. I don't want to give the name away yet of what I called them. Okay? But you see, these are the 5 kids. Okay? They're on every single station everywhere. March for Our Lives. Okay? There's a website. We're going to go deeper into that. Also, put the picture up of, we're going to look a little bit at this kid, David Hogue. Put David Hogue's picture up. Okay? I asked a question on Facebook this morning and everywhere. Who wrote the speeches and interviews for these kids? Who wrote them? Okay? We're going to play some video clips of these kids, okay? Who wrote their speeches? Who wrote Emma Gonzalez's speech? I mean, one of those proud teachers, one of those proud anti-pro-Hillary supporting, anti-Marco Rubio, anti-guns. Maybe one of those teachers helped Emma Gonzalez. Put her picture up. You have her picture? Write her speech. Who told these kids the NRA was the enemy? Who set that up for them? Who told the kids the NRA, they are the enemy? Who told this kid when she was giving her speech? And we're going to play clips of all these speeches, all right? Who told this kid? And I'm going to close my opening with something I think is very strong, okay? Who told these kids to look for the contributions from the NRA to the President of the United States, from the NRA to your local politician or your local elected official? Who told these kids to go after that? Who singled that out? Okay? You want me to believe these kids knew to attack the NRA without coaching? There's even talk of abolishing the Second Amendment. You see, folks, we're not going to go back to Ozzie and Harriet. I mean, and those of you out there don't understand maybe what I just said, and Ricky Nelson, all right? Hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart. Did I get that one? I'm going to check during the thing. Ricky Nelson, we're not going back there. We're not going back to Leave It to Beaver. It's not going to happen. I mean, we're not even going to go back to the Brady Bunch, the first divorce. Two divorcees, is that what it is? Married with children, blending a family together. We're not even going to go back there in America. That ship has sailed. We are here today, and we must deal with where we're at today. Okay? So, we find out the FBI had several notifications on this kid. Social services, there was psychiatric mental evaluations of the kid, okay? All right, social services, they knew about this kid, okay? The government knew about this kid. The kids at school knew about this kid. This is a total failure of our government. A total failure of our government. Total failure of our government. Now, people are upset because President Obama, we will get to President Obama in a minute, President Donald Trump made reference to the FBI spending all the time in the last 2 years, year and a half, with Russian collusion, the last year, over a year now, of Russian collusion, the FBI and the dossier, and we won't get into that because I don't want to desensitize what we're discussing, where they could have been getting serious and getting back to the basics. And, you know, Donald Trump's taking a lot of heat for that. But let me tell you something before I go to break, okay? Because we're going to come back, we're going to play some videos of these kids. What did I say last week? Amanda, remember this? Let me ask you a question, all right? And I want to check your memory. You ready? I said, sadly, when this happened, the Democrats ran over to the chalkboard and wrote this down as a campaign issue. Did I not?
Yes, you did, and it's totally true.
I said last week, you know, may have been the first, seriously, because we come on at 8 in the morning. I said they ran over to the chalkboard, and I said, sadly enough, a group of Democrats cheered and said, oh my gosh, look what we have. And they ran over to the chalkboard and they wrote this down for the election 2018, right?
That's right.
Okay. Now, I also have said this several times on this show, probably pre-Amanda, she's maybe heard it once or twice. Put all those kids up again. There's two things. Don't get upset with what I'm about to say, but I want to tell you what I've named these kids. I've named this group of 5 the Obama kids. Okay? They are the Obama kids. Now stay with me, okay? Now, the one young man is 18. I think they're all in the 16 to 18 range. All right? Sadly enough, way before this Parkland disaster here that killed 17, I don't even know how to describe killing these innocent children, okay? Sadly enough, I said for a year, okay, if you've watched this show, you've heard this me say this 10 times over. You do realize a kid that's 18 years today, the kid on the left that we're going to talk about, or is it my left? No, it's my right. I never can get that, okay?
Come on, it's always the opposite.
Always the opposite. Thanks for reminding me of that. So the kid on the far right, okay? The kid on the far right, all right? He's 18, okay? And I've always come and I've told you several times. How many times have I told you? Do you realize a kid 18 years old was only right now with President Obama, he's only 9 years old when President Obama takes office. All of these kids grew up in the new normal, as Rush Limbaugh has put it so many times. They grew up in the new normal, okay? These are Obama's kids. This is what has happened. Your kids have grown up under the Obama administration. They don't know leadership. They rely on the government. They believe this problem at Parkland was 100% the government's fault and the lack of banning guns. On and on. Got to remember that. These kids are the Obama kids. See, we can't go back. And I can't leave here and go to break and say that, hey, just in the last 8 years, the deep state, the left, we'll just start with Woodrow Wilson. They've had an agenda for a long time. So besides that, also, we find out the Russian indictments is the Russian bots again. We're going to talk about that later in the show. When we come back, we're going to play some of these kids' videos because I'm telling you now, right now, I don't want to talk about the Russian investigation right this minute because what happened this weekend and how they laid the groundwork for 2018 and to take further steps to take your guns. Do not believe the first politician that looks at you and ever says, not the first, Democrat. Don't believe the first Democrat politician that ever looks at you and says, I believe in the Second Amendment. There's not a one in the House or the Senate that truly believe in the Second Amendment, and when they lie and say they do, they say it's for your defense of your home and your defense of your home, hunting. But if they take our guns, who's going to defend us from the government one day? Because that's coming down the road. I know you didn't like it. Take a break. We'll be right back. We're going to watch some of these videos of these kids.
I've had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something.
Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
And we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. It is President's Day. Put the big symbol up there, President's Day. Now let's liven this show up a little bit. That's the first half hour. It's President's Day, right? Kids are off school. This is closed. That is closed. I want to know, can somebody please tell me how President's Day became like a sale day? I mean, why is it President's Day that you could get the best damn sale on a car or shoes or whatever? How did this happen? I'm serious. I know, I go for like things like, how in the world did President's Day? But okay, today's President's Day. Now, first of all, take that down. Let's talk about, I asked a question this morning. How safe are your schools? Let's go to that. Take President's Day down there for me. Okay, thank you, Amanda. How safe are your schools? Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Now, in the state of Georgia, I don't know where you are watching this morning. In the state of Georgia, okay, the state of Georgia allows your local Board of Education. So you need to know this so you can call your local Board of Education this morning when you can get a hold of them. They're on winter break. The state of Georgia allows the local control, okay, your Board of Education, to write their own security policy. You ready? You got it? So I'm going to be clear with you, okay? You need to call, no matter where you're at this morning, Texas, North Carolina, Florida, you need to call your local school district, if you have a county superintendent of schools, school system, however it is, or a city. You need to call the office and say, can you tell me what our security policy is? Our school security policy. Do we have a school security policy? Is it in place? What is it? You're going to be shocked to find out how many schools do not have a school security policy. Now, that doesn't particularly mean that your school is not safe out there, okay? That does not particularly mean that they're not interested in the safety of your children. So let's be clear on that. I'm not calling them out. FYN, Fetcher News is going to do an extensive research on 9 North Georgia counties on these questions today. So the state, you need to call, no matter where you're at in America, you need to call your school system and say, can you tell me, do we have a school security policy in place? You're going to be shocked to find out how many don't. Now, zeroing in on Georgia, the state of Georgia says your county can write their own security, school security policy. In the state of Georgia, okay, a school system can decide to lock a gun in a safe, put a weapon in a safe place. They can decide in the state of Georgia to put a couple, which would obviously be unknown. We know that for safety's sake, obviously, right? But you could have a couple teachers, 2 to 3, that are trained, armed, and ready to defend the children. You could do that in the state of Georgia. You are allowed to do that. Your school, if you call your school system in the state of Georgia, start asking these questions, and they say, well, we can't just let teachers carry guns. Maybe they can't just let teachers carry guns, but they can identify 2 or 3 or put weapons in a locked area that can be used in case of an emergency. Okay, so don't believe that they can't. So that's number 1 in the state of Georgia. Let's go back to the real number 1. Please call your school system today and say, do we have a school security policy? What is it? I'm going to tell you what. This March for Our Lives, and the kids, well, I knew this was going to happen, okay? And the kids are saying, and we'll get to this in a minute, if you didn't see the videos, we're going to do it. We're going to be the ones, us kids, 17, 18 years old. Damn it, no matter where you're at within my voice, no matter where you're sitting, if you are a parent and your ass does not get to the next Board of Education meeting and ask your Board of Education, I mean, there should be hundreds in the room, say, what is our school security policy? Can you read it to us now? And demand that your children have every opportunity to live as anyone else. That being said, okay, put up the picture of armed guards on Wall Street. This is not my picture, but folks, I have been to Wall Street and I have watched these armed guards. They are there at the New York Stock Exchange this morning. You can find them there. Armed guards, look at them. Go to the airport, look, okay? Park 30 seconds too long at an airport. It's the money, the airport, the money, not your safety, damn it. If you blow up an airport, air travel goes down, and maybe some airlines lose some stock. I know that's a reach, okay? Park 30 seconds too long. Put your damn bag down in an airport and go in the bathroom and come back and see how many dogs are sniffing around it. I'm just saying, Just saying. This is at Wall Street, folks. This is the New York Stock Exchange. Armed guards at the Capitol. Put that up. This morning, every elected official, there's armed guards. This is the capital of the United States of America. There's armed guards. How many times have you been to the Capitol that you have noticed the guards along the rooftop? Armed guards. The state of Georgia, now I agree with this, so I don't want to take it wrong, okay? The state of Georgia puts in the budget a full-time security detail for the governor. Georgia State Patrol, part of their unit, they have a unit of security, okay? Security detail. The governor of Georgia. The Speaker of the House of the state of Georgia, David Ralston. Now let me say, I agree with it. I agree with it, okay? But never goes anywhere that he is not driven and there's security detail with him, the Speaker of the House of the state of Georgia. Why can we not put a system in place to protect our children? Why is that the one place that the use of guns is not accepted, but they use the schools to try to take your guns? Why is the use of a gun not accepted at the school to defend the children? Why? Nobody asked this question. Put up the Obama kids one more time. None of these kids are asking the question, why can't we use guns back? Okay? Now let me just say this. I'm going to take another. I want to set up a video. So I'm going to probably take another break here in a second. But let me say this, okay? All right. I call them the Obama kids. There are metal detectors. We can't go back to Ozzie and Harriet, okay? Now look, I understand we can't go back, but you remember in high school, you know, you could jump on any bus. Remember that? You're coming out of high school and the kid, your buddy said, hey, come over to my house. Let's go over to my house. All right. So instead of getting on bus 1, you get on bus 29. The bus driver says, what are you doing on here? You're not on my bus. I'm going home with him. His mom knows I'm coming. Okay, all right. Right? Now, obviously, maybe that wasn't the safest thing, but, you know, we can't go back to that, right? No way we can go back to that. So, the point being is, we're up to the point of metal detectors in schools, cameras, metal detectors. You see, in rural America, many of us don't know this. There's kids. Now, we do know this, but let me get serious. There's kids going to school in New York City. I know, that was laughable, right? No. Here's what we don't know. We don't acknowledge, because we're in rural America. There's kids going to school in New York City. There's kids going to school in downtown Chicago, downtown LA, okay, downtown Atlanta. Metal detectors. There's 16-year-old kids that are trying to bring weapons in on a daily basis in some of these schools, 16 years old. And they're not the weapons that they bought legally at the gun shop and passed all the background checks. They're the guns they bought illegally. And they're trying to get them in school. because I talked to all of them. Let me recap. Schools in Georgia, your local Board of Education has the right by the state of Georgia to write their own school security policy. All right? That school security policy can include SROs, school resource officers, okay? All right? SROs, school resource officers. Second, it can include having weapons in the school, in designated area, in safe areas locked up to be used. It can include designating teachers that are willing to do it and go through the training to be armed and ready. So ask your school in Georgia what their school security policy is. Now, I will say this, SROs, school resource officers, yeah, we can't go back, folks. I come from a generation that, let me tell you something, okay? We're in the 4th grade, and you're going to laugh at me, but I don't care. There's times when I don't care if you laugh. We live in a small town. We're in small town USA, right? And we got a grade school, and we're in the 4th grade, and Chief Dimples, that's his name, Dimples, whether you laugh or not, okay? Chief Dimples is Mansfield Township Police Chief from the time I remember my whole life, Chief Dimples. And when Chief Dimples drove up to the front of the school, we were so amazed as children that the police why are the police here? And we all ran over to the window, and the teacher had to get us back to our chairs because a police car. Now our kids are conditioned there should be an officer in every school all the time, which is okay. SRO officers, okay? School resource officers, do you know one major reason that every school does not have one is the argument of who pays for it. The argument of who pays for the school resource officer. Because the school resource officer comes from what? The sheriff's office. Sheriff's office is under what? The county budget. But they're going in protecting what? A school. Here in Georgia, school budgets are separate. So there's a lot of argument who pays for it. I'm going to steal this from Tim. This morning. Tim said, when the Russian investigation is completely over, somebody will tally up the cost. Somebody will tally up all the costs of the Russian investigation on Donald Trump, the collusion investigation. And whatever it's costed us in America, we're going to divide that by 17. How about that? The only one I'm 100% aware of right now is Gilmer County. I did speak to the Gilmer County Sheriff yesterday, Stacy Nicholson, and Stacy Nicholson told me that every single school in Gilmer County has a school resource officer. They are full-time and they are armed. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to come right back. Now, I got to put up David Hogue. There's something about David Hogue before we get into videos. He reminds me of somebody. Just look at that picture before we go to break and watch and see who I come up with. I'm your host, BKP. Take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
All-new Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Okay, let's start some videos now. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let's start some videos. Put up just briefly David Hogue one more time. One more time. Just because in a little bit I'm going to show you something that is interesting to me. Okay, let's leave that there. Now, let's go with the video that I said start at 108. Okay, now wait a minute. These kids have come up. They're March for Life, March for Our Lives, on March 24th. Join us to, there's a website. I'm on the website. On March 24th, the kids and families of March for Our Lives will take to the streets of Washington, D.C. and demand that their lives and safety become a priority and that we end gun violence and mass shooting in our schools today. I just hope Rahm Emanuel from Chicago is there. March with us in Washington, D.C., and that's the website. They've got a mission statement. We'll go into that. And you're even able, who put this together, to make a donation or already purchase the t-shirt. Show that. This is March for Our Life. Okay, show them March for Our Life. When you go to it, when you first go to it, there's a pop-up in the center, right? Go to the picture I have, March for Our Lives. Right when you go to it, there's a pop-up in the center, okay? And you have to exit out. You can donate immediately. On March 24th, the kids and families of March for Our Lives will take to the streets of D.C. and demand that our lives and safety become priority and that we end this epidemic of mass school shootings. The collective voices of March for Our Lives movement will be heard. Join us in D.C. or march in your own community. Let's march or let's donate. Or donate immediately when you go in there. So let's go to the video right now that I have started. Let's see which one I have. It says, Parkland students make demands of lawmakers. And I think we start that at 108. Let's put that one up right now.
Inspired, and we're going to use this to try and make something better out of it.
Do you really think change is possible in terms of, I mean, for what the kind of change you want?
Everything I've heard where we can't do anything and this is just out of our hands is inevitable, I think that's a facade that the GOP is putting up. I think that's what they want us to think. I think that after every shooting, the NRA sends them a memo saying, send your thoughts and prayers, say let's not talk about it now, say this happens. This is the only country where this kind of thing happens. I've been hearing things from people, they don't have gun drills the way we do. We had to prepare extensively at Stoneman Douglas, and that shocked people. This is something that can be stopped, and this is something that will be stopped.
Yeah, I talked to the football coach yesterday who was saying that this school, in its 28 years, this school was the most prepared than any school he had ever taught in. I mean, they'd had repeated drills. Any school that could have been ready for something like this, there was a single point of entry, there was an armed guard, and yet it happened.
The faculty at Stoneman Douglas is amazing. Our security guards are all dedicated. Aaron Face, he died protecting us, and all of them knew exactly what they were doing. We've been through this a million times. We've talked about it a million times. We've had good discussions about this. We thought we were the last people who were going to have to deal with this. And if we didn't have the faculty we did, this could have been a lot worse.
You know, obviously there are a lot of politicians who are focusing on mental health and saying, look, something needs to be done about that, greater focus on mental health.
I think mental health is important. I think that it's being used as a way to get out of discussing gun control, but I think there's a very clear connection between the two. I'm not trying to take everybody's guns away, but there was a 19-year-old who legally bought an AR-15, which is a weapon of war, and if he had been through the least bit of screening, somebody would have said, this person does not need a weapon like that. And I think there need to be a lot more regulations put on guns, and it needs to be a lot harder to get them.
So, you know, you're a junior right now. Obviously, you're already thinking about college, but thinking about what you want to do afterward. Has this changed your thought about what you may want to do with your life?
Absolutely. I've always been inspired. I think I've always been passionate in how to drive, but this is something completely new. This feels like a calling. This doesn't feel like a hobby. I'm trying to spread as much awareness about this as I can, and I hope to continue doing that as long as it takes.
You have a brother who has special needs. You wanted to say and compliment the police officers.
Okay, folks, that happens to be, before we go any further, that happens to be Cameron Kasky. Okay, put his picture up. This is Cameron, okay, one of the Obama kids. Cameron Kasky. Now you listen to that very closely, folks. Put up Cameron's picture with Anderson Cooper. All right, look at that. Nice little, you know, hey, he's with Anderson Cooper. Why not get that photo? You know, hey, who hasn't done that, right? And then put up the other one with him and Anderson Cooper of CNN. Okay, that's the interview. Who wrote that interview for that kid? Who wrote that interview? Now, we will not have, because we only have 2 hours, we will not have enough time to break everything down. But that kid there, go back to him and Anderson Cooper, that picture. Stay with that a minute, Amanda. He said the facade the Republicans put up Now, why did he not say the facade politicians put up? Why did he not say there's a facade every time this happens that the government puts up? But no, it's a facade that the Republicans put up where the NRA, these are well-coached kids, NRA send Republicans sound bites to send prayers and condolences to the family. Used as a way to get out of gun control conversation. Mental health. Mental health. Anderson Cooper knew to come back. You see, I do interviews. I will be doing an interview tomorrow. And I do not do a staged interview. Okay? But I have had some interviews with business owners and things like that where I do discuss, not political, where I discuss where we're going next. And I'll say, look, we're going to talk about your business. We want to promote your business. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this, and you're going to say this, and then I'm going to say this, and I'm going to lead you down this road this way. Now, I don't want that misunderstood. I think I'm clear, right, Amanda? I think I'm clear. I have done interviews where a business or something of that nature is taking place, that we're highlighting an event or something where, yes, I've taken the person right down through the interview. And I could spot that. I could spot that because I do it. So this is being used for mental health, is being used as a way to get out of the gun control conversation. We need a lot more regulations. We need to make it harder to get them. He feels a calling, maybe a political calling. Now, on every one of these, Amanda, would you like to tell me how you feel about when you watch that video right there? Would you like to go with that?
At his age, I feel like I was there at one point, and his influence is to blame.
His influence is the blame? Mm-hmm. Okay. Influence is the blame. Okay, I got it. We'll go with that. Now, let's go to another video. Hold on just a minute. I got it here. Now, this one I think is student David Hogue put his picture up. All right? And I think this picture, David Hogue, he is on Good Morning, CBS Good Morning, Sunday morning, okay? All right? And it's a couple minutes, but you're going to watch him be able to read from the teleprompter what is written for him. Now, the interesting thing here is when he gets to certain areas, you will be able to tell he is timed to pause. He's reading pause, okay? He is timed between certain pictures. You will pick that up. Let's go to student David Hogg on Florida school shooting.
I was in my environmental science class when the first gunshot echoed through the hallways. We never had an active shooter drill at my school, and though we did talk about what to do in this type of situation, nothing could have prepared us for this. Politicians, and more importantly, the American public, must take action if we're going to prevent the next shooting. To elected officials, I say this: don't lie to us. Don't make any more false promises, because when you do, children die. For the unfortunate individuals that were at my school, I ask that this be a time of togetherness and something that is going to be always remembered, not only as a terrible incident, but as a turning point in American history, where students speak up and speak out when the politicians won't. I understand the importance of interest groups and how oftentimes they're necessary to continue a political agenda. However, when that agenda involves putting the lives of children at risk, how can you justify that? I support the Second Amendment, but for God's sake, How can we knowingly pass bills and laws that are in direct opposition to saving kids' lives? Sandy Hook, the Pulse nightclub shooting, and Vegas, just to name a few. What legislation was passed in response? The answer to that question is little, if any. This President's Day, I think it's important that we come together as a nation and see each other's viewpoints and respect each other as fellow Americans. But this tragic event must never be forgotten, because once it is, there will be another one, and another one. We need to stand up, go out and vote, talk to your legislators, and get educated. Be persistent, because these interest groups and these politicians will not listen if we don't speak up. So as American citizens, unite, and stand up in the face of division, not for any political agenda, but for the lives of millions of school children.
We need to stand up, go out and vote. How about that one, Amanda? Amanda, let me ask you a question. Was that clearly the look of a campaign commercial?
It was. And, you know, like, he looked at his teleprompter the entire time. I feel like someone there at the end, when they went to the few clips, was like, hey, you need to look at the camera at least once. Like, this poor kid.
Now, this kid is that is a campaign commercial. Somebody wrote a campaign commercial for this kid, and he read the campaign commercial. David Hogg very well put his picture back up. Okay, he read the campaign commercial, and he rocked the vote. You remember MTV used to rock the vote? He rocked the vote. Stand up, go out and vote. I mean, stand up, go out and vote. They have written slogans. They have written one-liners. They have written everything they can for 2018. Special interest groups that put our children at risk. Okay. Now, I sent you a picture over there, Amanda. I don't want you to give the name, but I sent a picture of someone else he reminds me of. Can you guess and put that picture up? There you go. Way to go, Amanda. Way to go. I'm just serious. Just saying. That's Jon Ossoff. I know you're going to say, wow, that's Jon Ossoff. Remember the kid that was, more interested in standing in line to get Star Wars tickets in the 6th Congressional District of Georgia, running against Karen Handel? Remember this kid, the man-child, the boy that was manufactured by the Democrats? A totally manufactured candidate? Now go back to David Hogg. Manufactured 100%. Manufactured this kid. These kids are being manufactured 100% by the same group of people, the same corrupt group that manufactured this candidate. Go back to John. There you go. Same candidate manufactured there, Jon Ossoff. They are manufacturing candidates. Look, 17 kids were killed in Parkland, and this is what's happening to your Second Amendment rights and the attack on the NRA. Let's go to students push for never again national gun control movement. Let's go to that video. Let's just play a couple minutes of that before we go to, can you get that one for me?
Joining me now are 5 students from Parkland, Florida, who attend Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. They are David Hogg, Alex Wind, and Emma Gonzalez, plus Cameron Caskey and Jacqueline Corin. Thanks so much to all of you for joining me. And Cameron, I'll start with you. You say the adults have let you down.
Well, the adults in office have let us down, absolutely. And fortunately, we have a lot of support from the older generations here. But what we're trying to do here at March for Our Lives is say,
we're going to come back to a quick break. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after these words. We got to take a quick break. Something has come up.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Folks, we apologize for that brief interruption, but you know, we are a small business and sometimes something happens around here we have to take care of immediately. Nothing big, nothing major, but we just had to take a quick break. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to go right back to that video, and where we're setting this up is this is Face the Nation. All four networks brought the Obama kids on and put them right there on a table, all four, okay? And they all just treated them, Chris Wallace, Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, every one of them treated these kids, okay? Treated these kids like they were, treated these kids like they were the best thing that ever happened to this country. And it's time to get the discussion open. Now, we'll talk about the mental health side in a minute. Let's go back to this video that we were playing right before we took our break. You got it ready, Amanda?
Losing our lives. If you see how they treat each other in the office, if you see the nasty, dirty things going on with them, it's sad to think that that's what they're doing while 17 people are being slaughtered and gunned down only yards away from where we're sitting right now. And March for Our Lives has support from everybody. And at the end of the day, this isn't a red and blue thing. This isn't Democrats and Republicans. This is about everybody and how we are begging for our lives and we are getting support, but we need to make real change here, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
So, Emma, what is the plan? You say you want to spark a national movement. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to actually make it happen. What are you going to do?
Well, what we have set up right now, we have a website, March for Our Lives. We're going to be doing a march in March on Washington where we get students all over the country are going to be joining us. These kids are going to make this difference because the adults let us down. And at this point, I don't even know if the adults in power who are funded by the NRA, I don't even think we need them anymore because they're going to be gone by midterm election. There's barely any time for them to save their skins. And if they don't turn around right now and state their open support for this movement, they're going to be left behind because you are either with us or against us at this point.
We are giving a lot of the politicians that we feel neglected by a clean slate because that's the past and we understand that. But from here on, we are creating a badge of shame for any politicians who are accepting money from the NRA. It is a special interest group that has most certainly not our best interests in mind, and this cannot be the normal. This can be changed, and it will be changed. And anybody who tells you that it can't is buying into the facade that's being created by the people who have our blood on their hands.
David, a lot of people saw the reporting that you did from inside the school while the shooting was taking place, and
Okay, I'm your host, BKP. NRA. If you have that on your, if you are an NRA member, could you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor, Amanda? Just Google how many members are in the NRA. Just Google that and let me know if you get that, okay?
All right, we're at the census for age 18 and over in NRA for this year is 5 million.
That's how many members? 5 million?
That's right.
Okay, all right. I thought there were more, but whatever it is, let's say 5 million. Okay, we'll go with that. If you are an NRA member, if you have a jacket with a badge that says NRA, if you have anything to do with the National Rifle Association, this will be considered a badge of disgrace, right? Is that what it's considered now? A badge of disgrace, according to these kids. The adults let us down. Those politicians. Now, man, I'm really wanting to ask you, did you hear this kid? Because we're breaking down words and sentences. Okay, did you hear this kid say the NRA, these politicians that link themselves with the NRA, okay, this Gomez girl, will be gone in the midterm elections?
I did. And I want to clarify that 5 million NRA members. The NRA has a chart up right here when you go on Google and you find out a little bit more information about the NRA. Of those 5 million NRA members, there's 81 million gun owners in America.
So 81 million gun owners, NRA.
And that's with registered guns. You can still be a gun owner and not be an NRA member or have a registered gun. Let me just put that out there too.
Right. So I'm not an NRA member, not because I have anything against them. You follow what I'm saying? I'm just not a member of the NRA, but as a gun owner, I would say I support the NRA's, you know what I'm saying? So 81 million with guns. NRA, but you did hear will be gone in the midterm elections. You heard that.
I heard that.
Yeah, they'll be gone in the midterm elections. They are going to be gone. That is what the Gomez girl said. They are going to be gone. And the other kid said the NRA will be a badge of disgrace. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? I'm going to tell you something, okay? I remember high school pretty well. And I actually kept up with things in high school. Does that shock you, Amanda, that I kept up with politics in high school? I actually kept up with politics in high school. All right? And if somebody said the midterm elections were coming up when I was 17, I would be wondering what they were talking about. Like, I'm 17. I'm not focusing on midterms. Can you pick up that every single thing these kids are saying, somebody is writing the script? Is that the feeling you get? I really don't want to be alone on this.
I totally get that. And with this Gonzalez girl, I'm sitting here and reading a little bit about her because I haven't really kept up with her over the weekend. But it seems like she's just seeing some spotlight and just running with it. Just any little thing, she is so worked up. It's like seeing these kids so excited. It's like they think they're acting. That psychologically they are just now developing the sense of independence. And that's the truth. They don't know. They're not experienced enough to even have a thought on these things. And personally, I don't even believe that 18 should be an age of vote, honestly, because when I was 18, I was stupid. There's no way that I could decide, at that point in my life, who our next president should be.
So I have told you in the past this is a live show, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you were 18, okay, we're gonna go with that. That's pretty. All right.
They're just, you know what I mean? They're so excited. They're on TV. They're like, oh my God, this is rocking their world right now.
Okay, this is the one. You remember, I have a time I want this to start at 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Let's start this video here. This is Miss Gonzalez. This is Florida student to NRA and Trump. We call BS. Do you have that one?
How about we stop blaming the victims for something that was the shooter's fault? The fault of the people who let him buy the guns in the first place, those at the gun shows, the people who encouraged him to buy accessories for his guns to make them fully automatic, the people who didn't take them away from him when they knew that he expressed homicidal tendencies. And I am not talking about the FBI. I am talking about the people that he lived with. I'm talking about the neighbors who saw him outside holding guns. If the president wants to come up to me and tell me to my face that it was a terrible tragedy and how it should never have happened, and maintain telling us how nothing is going to be done about it, I'm going to happily ask him how much money he received from the National Rifle Association. United States in the 1.5 months in 2018 alone, that comes out to being $5,800. Is that how much these people are worth to you, Trump? If you don't do anything to prevent this from continuing to occur, that number of gunshot victims will go up, and the number that they are worth will go down. And we will be worthless to you. To every politician who is taking donations from the NRA, shame on you. Was as threatened as us, would your first thought be, how is this going to reflect on my campaign? Which should I choose? Or would you choose us? And if you answered us, will you act like it for once? You know what would be a good way to act like it? I have an example of how not to act like it. In February of 2017, 1 year ago, President Trump repealed an Obama-era regulation that would have made it easier to block the sale of firearms to people with certain mental illnesses. From the interactions that I had with the shooter before the shooting and the information that I currently know about him, I don't really know if he was mentally ill, but I wrote this before I heard what Delaney said. Delaney said that he was diagnosed. I don't need a psychologist, and I don't need to be a psychologist to know that repealing that regulation was a really dumb idea. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa.
There's a full list there. It goes on and on. You can only take so much of this young lady. Being upset is one thing. These kids are upset, and obviously for good reason. And the right to protest and the right to have their freedom of speech and the right to say what they want is protected by this Constitution. Okay, it's protected by this Constitution in every way, shape, and form, including the Second Amendment. So the First Amendment of freedom of speech, the Second Amendment is just as important of what you are saying, young lady. And I'm going to tell you this. If you cannot figure out that somebody wrote, see, the end all is get rid of Trump. No matter what, get rid of Trump. And you're not going to convince me that this young lady did not have that speech written for her. It was gone over for her. And in fact, I think we're going to be able to play a video that thanks her teachers. Yes, when they talk about the speech. Do we have that other video, that Twitter video? Can that be played? Listen closely and for this young lady to thank, because I'm going to tell you who this group is that's already has Miss Gomez. Is that her name, Gomez? Do I have that right? Gonzalez, Emma Gonzalez. Play that other video.
Get out there and vote. For the love of God, prevent this from happening at your school. People say that these kids don't understand what they're talking about. I took a class on this. I might not have been able to finish the class, but that's not my fault. I'm gonna go out of my way to continue studying this and making sure that my arguments are watertight and that anybody who has anything opposing to say gets the full clap back that they deserve. I know that it's hard to watch those videos and some people are saying, how dare they post something like that? No. If we had to live through it, you should have to live through it too. If that's what it's going to take for you to understand what it feels like, then watch the frickin' video. I don't need anybody to tell me that it was a good speech. I know that it was a good speech. And they were the reasons that I was able to make it good. Not today. Never again. This is not going to happen.
And I'm not going to let anybody say that this is how I should be feeling, because I know how I should be feeling. I'm the one who experienced it. We are the ones who experienced it. I hope to see a lot of vocal and physical support. People actually showing up for things just like this, overflowing with people.
I'm not going to wait for you to tell me that's a good speech. I know that was a good speech. Did she say teacher in there?
She didn't say teacher, but they had a written reference. That
Oh, it is written, right?
Yeah,
I knew it said teacher. And I can't see it across the screen, but it says teacher, right?
Yeah, they had a written reference that her teachers wrote the speech.
Yes. Who's writing the script for these kids, the Obama kids, huh? Who's writing the script? Wonder who? Huh? Wonder who? 2018. They will be gone. They say they will be gone. A badge of disgrace. Reading from a teleprompter. Boy, the media got down there with the satellite trucks for this one, didn't they? And what happened to domestic violence? It seemed like just yesterday domestic violence was a problem. I didn't, is it me or did that leave the front page on the political side? How fast did that leave the front page? I'm your host, BKP. Let's take a break. We got 30 minutes, and then I want to give Amanda a chance to make any comments that she wants or anything that she's come up with.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Thank you.
Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
Two.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We are back to, we've only got 30 minutes left in this show. I was not going to get myself buried in this totally, but I wanted to. That last video was on Twitter, and I wanted to let you know that that was put together by a group called Now This. Okay, Now This has a website, nowthis.com. Go check it out. Nowthis.com, okay, is the website, all right? And you could see there's going to be a lot put into today the kind of people that are supporting these kids and backing these kids. And that's why I had my serious opening. Amanda, in your spare time, I know I'm about to get in trouble because in your spare time, you want to frame this up, what you see going on, or do you have anything? Because I know you always check out some of the more popular conservative websites. I think you do that. So do you have anything this morning?
I do. I did not actually keep up with this.
Now wait a minute, can we try that other camera, or are we not going to? Can we try it? Do you not want to? If you don't want to, we don't have to.
Skip it for today. I need to fix it.
I don't know what that means.
We'll skip it for today. I need to fix it.
Okay, all right.
So with this Emma Gonzalez girl, and just watching that speech, she is nervous. I'm you know how you are when you're that young, and when you have to sit out. And whenever I started school, I went to school for psychology at first, and we would have to make speeches like that during class and in front of 70-something people. And I remember just gasping and feeling amped up like that. This kid is so amped up, and these people are taking, just from reading a little bit about her, obviously she's gay.
Whoa, pump the brakes.
No, she is. She's an open lesbian.
Oh,
read online. No. It is a fact. This is a fact.
She's open. So Sinead O'Connor there.
She is openly gay. I don't know how open, but evidently, she's pro, LGBT community, LGBTQ, whatever they are now. And she, in her young little mind here, you've got to think that these people are taking, her ideas, and that she's thinking, she's already threatened because she feels like, with our Republican president, she can't be free, to love who she wants to love. So they're going to take these little pieces like that and turn it into, her tragedy of this gun violence that happened in her school. She's already fired up about it. And so she's on fire. She's just loud. She's obnoxious to me. That's my personal opinion. But she's so fired up. They find these kids and put these ideas in their head.
So all right. Well, now you're on a good roll there. So you feel there could be other reasons she does not like the president?
Absolutely. She's biased.
She was prepared not to like the president and give that speech. What's interesting is, how did the school find her? Now, I'm not saying the school is behind these kids, but how did some of these liberal, probably administrators, find her and say, this is who we need to put in front of the camera? It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. And, she's so young and what she, unexperienced and what she's not taking into consideration that, these people that she's following are just so hypocritical. You want to throw off on the NRA. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. You don't have to own a gun. You don't have to agree with guns. Whatever. But that's in our Constitution. That is our Second Amendment right to protect ourselves and our families from other people and our government. Okay. And she doesn't understand. Hey, me as a conservative, I could go off and throw off on Planned Parenthood, kills 887 babies a day, but that's okay. The NRA accepts no money from taxpayers. Planned Parenthood, guess how much they get? $500 million a year.
I don't want to interrupt you.
I could go on and on with this girl. But she's, I'm just not the type of person. They picked a perfect person. She's loud. She's obnoxious. She's the perfect person for this.
Well,
she's getting her ideas out there, and that is just, that's great for them. Great for the left.
Well, I think your point is very valid that she, the NRA is not forcing anybody to send a membership in.
Right.
And the federal government does not give the NRA any money whatsoever.
Yeah, but she wants to throw off that Trump gave them $30 million.
No. The NRA gave Trump $30 million. Yeah. But here's the thing, though, is you're 100% right. But then we have Planned Parenthood, which kills, in my book, hundreds of thousands that our government actually supports.
887 babies a day.
How many?
887. One every 90 seconds during opening hours.
But the NRA is a badge of disgrace.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have anything else? That was pretty good.
And like I was saying, they see, okay, she's already got this personal vendetta against Trump, because the left wants these little people to believe, hey, they point these people out like she is for the LGBT community. She's gonna hate Trump. Like they pick these people and they premeditate this and they get them so amped up because you have to think, like, imagine you feeling that you could not legally love the person that you want to. Of course you're going to be fired up already. She's biased. She's a biased little child that they gave a microphone. And it's sad. She's not getting the full story. She's not sitting back and listening to all sides like people should.
Okay. Anything else besides that subject? I got to reel you in just a little bit. I mean, that was very good. I'm okay with that. But, all right, take a break there, okay? Slow your roll. Just slow down a little bit. Take a deep breath. Very good. Point well taken. All right, folks, the Russian investigation, all of the Russians that Mueller's special counsel indicted, trolling you, the voter, on the internet. Let me just say this, and we don't have time to break this down, but the indictments on Mueller, always remember, let's stay with the main thing is the main thing, right? What's the main thing? The main thing. They will not stop until they impeach Donald Trump. Now, sadly, 17 kids gave their life, okay, to further the cause to impeach Donald J. Trump as President of the United States, whether you like that comment or not, okay? Now, this young lady, Gonzalez, okay, this young man, Cameron Kasky, okay, this young man, David Hogue, these young people, the Obama kids, are set up for 2018. These kids will go all the way, okay, to 2018. And my question is, how many Republicans will cave? Why will background checks solve this? Why? What makes you think the deeper the background check will solve this problem of somebody walking in mentally ill and shooting this? Why do you think that this will just solve everything? Why do you think regulations on guns will solve everything? Why are we led to believe a society without guns is a better society to live in? Why are they doing that to us? Why? Why is the government wanting our firearms? If you look around, you better pay attention. You've turned the United States of America totally into a military state. And we can go into that at a different day at a different time. Okay? But that's the question. Why? Okay? Mental illness. I told you last week I'm concerned with the subject of mental illness and what they will determine being mental illness. I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned on how many Republicans will cave and find it to be the best time to change gun laws in this country. Because see, that young lady did not know that a bump stock will turn a gun from semi-automatic to full automatic rifle. She didn't know that. Somebody wrote that for her. The Russian investigation, the determination, and what is taking place in Parkland, don't forget, it always funnels down to impeach Donald Trump. The very first act, which you may think that I'm wrong on this, okay? The very first act that the new Congress after the midterms will do, if elected, is impeach Donald J. Trump. First thing they will do, if elected, is send up the articles of impeachment. They've got to get rid of this guy. The deep state, the media, I don't even like to go over that and over that. Mueller, the Russian indictments, sure, they're going to show up any day, the Russians, so they can be charged, right? And then trolling. Folks, you're going to hear that the Russians, first of all, Facebook, Twitter, all right, all the social media sites, they want your money worldwide. They're not going to turn your money down. We have corporations for years that have done business in companies that have sanctions, all right? All we keep hearing is Trump will not put sanctions on Russia. He's accepting them, okay, trying to destroy our democracy, okay? Destroy our democracy. That's all you hear. Folks, let's just start with Woodrow Wilson. We're going to go right to Woodrow Wilson. The Russians did not try to destroy our democracy. We've allowed that to be destroyed over a period of 70 years. This is not brand new. This is not the 2016 election. Now, the Russians are winning right now because they got a special counsel appointed. They got 7-day-a-week, 24-hour news cycle. Trump is right. The Russians are laughing their ass off at us, okay? They are causing so much, okay, discontent in this country, so much right now. But don't think for 1 minute that Facebook does not want millions of dollars, that Twitter, they want the money when you have these sponsored ads. You can go on there right now. Now, let me just tell you something. I get tired of hearing trolling. It's interesting that the Russians knew, okay? It's interesting that the Russians knew, okay, to focus in on Michigan and Wisconsin, but Hillary Clinton did not. Trolling. Don't you know why? I mean, you got to be careful. We got the Constitution here. You're going to got to be careful what we do with all of these things going on. You take this kid. It was on his YouTube channel. He had a Snapchat picture of guns. He made comments. All right? The FBI missed this. How many times has the FBI missed things? We can go on and do a whole show about that. Why can we not call out the FBI in this? When she says, hey, I don't want you to hear FBI. Yeah, you know what? Maybe the FBI could have investigated this a little further. But the point being is trolling. Now, if you're wondering, and don't take this wrong, if you're wondering how, okay, the internet knows you like those shoes or you like certain websites, okay? If you get a notice, if you go somewhere and a website says, this is unsafe, don't open this website, but then a minute later, you get an email that says, we can keep your internet secure, and you haven't caught on that that's trolling. When you go to all of your conservative sites, liberal sites, wherever you go, there are programs that pick up everywhere you go and they troll and follow you. So if you think right now, if Russian companies ask Facebook to buy $1 million worth of ads, now we're talking about two campaigns that probably 1.5 billion. Remember, $1.5 billion was probably spent in this campaign. And we keep talking about a handful of millions of dollars, just a handful of millions of dollars, that's it. A couple million here and there. They know how. Your social media is not going to turn down the money. They're going to continue this. What do we do about Russia buying bots and trolling our internet? Because guess what? The rest of the world is. How come? Hey, Amanda, I got a question. When we were getting all of those emails from India, where my rich cousin died and left me $80 billion, and all I had to do was, click here. You know what I'm saying? Or the king of so-and-so. How come politicians didn't get as upset about people attacking our internet then? I don't know.
I have no idea.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
They've attacked our internet. We're going to have to figure out. Now, 2 years ago, I said this on the show. I'm going to take a brief break because I want to wrap up. 2 years ago, I said this on the show. That the laws that we encounter 2 years ago from into the future, you watch and see, they will surround the internet. Internet laws are getting ready to crank up like you would not believe, including social media, freedom of speech. You better get ready. I'm your host, BKP. Take a brief break and we'll be right back. I do have a final thought I don't think you want to miss, or I hope you don't want to miss it.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
Two, one.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We only have 5 minutes. Emma Gonzalez, I'd like to ask you a question. The Obama kids, that's what I call them, the Obama kids. The kids that, well, predate Obama. This is the generation you have to understand. 18 years old, we gave the government. We gave them to them. Boom. That's what we did, parents. Gave the government our children. We let them feed them in the morning, feed them at lunch, feed them on the way home. This is the group we gave of kids we gave to the government. Okay? Period. Emma Gonzalez, let me ask you a question. If you are so well versed on the NRA, and if somebody helped you do the research on the amount that the NRA gave the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and other candidates to win, if you had all of these things and all of these facts, and you said, Emma, that the President of the United States, and you even went as far to say that they would not be reelected. They would be gone. And you even went as far to say that President Donald Trump repealed something with executive order that made it easier for people to obtain guns. I mean, you really went in depth. So while you were doing your research, why didn't you stand up there and say, you know what? We did not need Obamacare, Mr. President. When you had control of Congress, and when you had control of the House, total Congress, the House of Representatives, and you actually had 60 votes. We hear all the time the Republicans don't have 60. So when Democrats had 60 votes, Mr. President, and you had control, and Nancy Pelosi had the gavel in the House, and you had the pen in the Oval Office, why did you give me Obamacare, sir? I didn't need Obamacare. I needed to live. Why didn't you deal with this gun issue then, sir? Why didn't you deal with DACA then, sir? Why? Why didn't you deal with all these things that affect us kids? That's why we're going to march. You see, you didn't need Obamacare at that time. But you know what? For all of you liberals out there, you had 60 votes, you had the House of Representatives, and you had the president with the pen, okay? And you could have done everything. But see, they don't want to fix DACA. Don't want to. They want to keep it an issue. They want to keep it stirred up. They don't want to fix the guns issue. And when I say fix, please forgive me, I don't mean that. I mean that in their terms of fix. Because they want to keep it stirred up. They don't want a solution, their solution. They don't want their solution. They want to keep it stirred up. So Emma, sad to say for you Obama kids, the Democrats found their way right to Parkland, exploited you, and got right on stage with you. And we know the Democrats were represented, the LGBT community was represented. We know what happened. We know. So if you want to solve the problem, let's get serious and have the discussion. You know, I've got a minute, I'd like to take 20 kids, all right? And I'm going to say this jokingly to close the show. I'd like to take 20 kids, and I'd like to take 10 kids and grow them up with the government, raise them with the government, put them all on Ritalin, get them to be so numb on Ritalin and whatever mood-altering drugs they could take to keep them calm. I would like to give them a timeout when they go in timeout. I'd like to put them in timeout as their punishment. I would like to take a set of parents and make friends out of them, be their friends. I would like to watch their diet intake and you know, and make sure there's no what is that that's real popular right now? Everything's got to be free of this and that.
Keto.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I would like to take that group over there. Have the parents be their friends, put them on Ritalin, mood-altering drugs, all the above. Let them watch Teletubbies, all the above, over here, okay? Let them not play sports. I know I just got in trouble. Now it's 10 o'clock. Then I want to take 10 kids, and this is my joke, all right? I want to take 10 kids, and I don't want their parents to be their friends. They got friends at school. I'm getting in trouble here. Remember back in my generation, I have to say, they kept yelling at us, we need to be friends. Your dad did not communicate with you. You need to be your son's friend. Your father was rough and tough. He never said he loved you. You need to be your kid's friend. Okay, all right. So I want to go over here, and I don't want to be friends with my kids. I want to be their parent. I'm going to take 10 kids over here and have parents be parents, not friends. I'm even going to, like, after a year, let a mom or a dad, whoever might choose, even put, Coke or Mountain Dew in their bottle, okay? I'm going to put them down with just a diaper on and a whole big field full of dirt and let them play all day, even if they eat a little of it. I mean, the list goes. I might even let them play with matches, all the above, okay? I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to take these 10 kids, and I want to see what happens. I'm serious, folks. We got to take the kids away from our government. We do not need to be in fear of our government as we are today. They need to fear us, okay? And sadly, to end at 10:02, as Rush Limbaugh said on Chris Wallace, sorry to say, folks, the next shooter is out there. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, FYNTV.com. Sorry we didn't get to everything. Take us out of here, Amanda.